See Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Satan and Coffee. How's it going? It's good to see everybody. Evie, Dr. Dino, Amanda, good to see everyone. I hope you're all doing very, very well. So, as we always begin, hail Satan, hail Lilith, hail Lucifer, hail Payman, hail Baphomet, hail thyself. We reject the Trinity, we reject the baptism of John, and we reject the baptism of the Spirit. Welcome, everyone. It's good to see everybody. I will not be on camera this morning. This is simply because, as you all may already know, Black Witch Dyra is pregnant and she needs her rest, and she is comfortably resting on the bed behind me. So, out of respect for privacy, this is the wonderful scene that you will be looking at for the rest of this morning's Mass. So I hope you are all doing well. Happy belated. Thank you very much, Evie. Greatly appreciate it. I hope you got spoiled rotten. I did. As it seems I always do. So it was lovely. And thank you very much. I really wish I could say it was a chilly Sunday afternoon for me, but it is 10 o'clock in the morning. And it is already, let's see here. In Fahrenheit, it is already 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Or in Celsius, it is 23 degrees Celsius at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I wish I could say it was chilly, but it is not by any means. So today, what we're going to be looking at, what we're going to be talking about, as you probably could see by the title, we're talking about infernal unity. So one of the things on the left-hand path that is always spoken about, is always thrown in people's faces, is the level of freedom that we have to make choices, to live our lives as we see fit. As we deal with self-deification as the primary motivation for the things that we do. Many people like to flaunt and talk very heavily about being able to be polyamorous, being able to be single, be able, whatever, being able to live the life that suits you best. And because those types of lifestyles are generally not accepted by most people in society, at least with the status quo in society, those are the parts that we talk about most. But then it begs the question, where does monogamy stand in the left-hand path? Does it stand at all? Are we capable, or are we left-hand path if we have a monogamous relationship? Well, first and foremost, by example alone, I would like to say that I am proof that yes, you can. It is perfectly appropriate. And there is spiritual reverence and meaning in monogamy in the left-hand path. There is actually something, I believe, more important to learn by being monogamous when it comes to the aspect of discipline. Discipline of self-deification. One of the first things that we must learn for ourselves is to be disciplined, to control ourselves. Okay? So, as we get into this, I've pulled some scriptures, we can call them. So there's, for most of you are aware of the Book of Baphomet that is done. It's finished. It's just waiting to be edited and then published. That's it. And I'm sorry it's been taking so long. I thought that thing was going to take 2 years. I think we're going on 3 or 4 now. So it's kind of crazy. Also, the Oracle deck finished. All the designs are done. There's an example of them actually in the community section on the channel if you're curious of what they look like. Those are all that artwork is finished. I think Evie, so far, Evie, I think you're the only one that's had the pleasure of seeing the deck in its entirety. So there you go. Evie is a very good friend of the channel. Sorry, it's not Satan and coffee without coffee, and I know you can't see me, but I am drinking my morning cup. So I hope you all are as well. If you do coffee. If not, enjoy a cup of tea then. So there's another book that I'm putting together, a short book. I'm putting together what I believe, at least from the gnosis that I've received. Dominican coffee, super strong. Nice paranormal. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm just doing some, like, 2 spoons of instant Nescafe with some hazelnut creamer. Slim Lewis, welcome. Good to see you, my friend. So I'm putting together, through the gnosis that I've received, through the work that I've done, I'm putting together a book of scripture, infernal scripture. And some of them I have added in today's sermon. So the first part we're going to start with here is the Book of Shadows, verse 1:12. Okay? And Lucifer looked upon Lilith, and in her saw the wildness of his own soul reflected, unruled, undaunted, and untamed by heavens or hells. He said unto her, let's forge not chains, but a blade together, sharp, mirrored, and indivisible. So what we're going to be looking at, what we're going to be kind of reflecting on, right? So we're looking at kind of, I'm trying to put my words together here. We're looking at infernal unity. Right? So we gather in rebellion and reverence, not to kneel, but to rise, not to surrender, but to see clearly the flame that binds and not binds in bondage. So that's another thing we're going to be playing with here. Right? But in burning devotion, the binds of devotion, the binds that you choose. At the end of the day, remember, everything that we talk about is choice. We are free to choose the path that is best for us. Today, we're just going to be talking about how monogamy works in the left-hand path, that it isn't adversarial to the left-hand path. Rather, it is something that can enhance one's own self-deification. We invoke the names of Lucifer, the Lightbringer, and Lilith, the first flame. 2 sovereigns who chose one another, not in ownership, but in mirrored power. Let their examples speak to us as we explore what it means to walk this path with another soul bound in fire to our own. And I know that there is some controversy under the idea of Lucifer and Lilith being a thing. And whether you choose to believe that Lucifer and Lilith are bonded or not, I found that ideal to best suit what we're going to be talking about today. So I do hope that if you are one that does kind of say, no, that's not possible, I do hope that you are still able to get the message and the idea of what we're putting out today. So the left-hand path teaches us sovereignty and autonomy, the divine self, the infernal self. But there is a truth in this. The self expands. We grow. We become more. We don't shrink, right? As long as we're not forcing ourselves to become smaller, we continually become larger, grander, and more powerful. So when we choose union, we grow even more. To walk in monogamous infernal bond is not to surrender power. It is to intensify it through conscious devotion. And this is an important thing to understand. When you choose to align yourself with another person, if you feel in that relationship, in that union, that you are surrendering your power to the other person, then you're not in the right relationship. This is an important takeaway here, right? Because it's nice to talk about monogamy. It's nice to talk about having that one person that will be by you no matter what. But if you feel that you are surrendering your power and not enhancing it by being with the person that you're with, then there are things that should be examined, that need to be talked about, or you need to find another person. Those are the 3 steps that I would suggest if you feel that you are sacrificing power by being with someone. Now, we come to the Book of Embers, 11:6. A chosen partner is not a chain. A chosen partner is a mirror, a blade, and a temple, reflected, sharpened, and worshipped. Monogamy is magic, the blade forged. Monogamy is not submission. This is kind of like one of the biggest things that kind of get argued about when we talk about monogamy on the left-hand path or in occultism in general. That a lot of people look at being in a monogamous relationship is submissive. You are submitting. This is not Catholicism, right? Nobody is submitting to anyone. Everyone has their own power, things that they're good at, things that they're bad at. When we have a mirror, what does a mirror do? A mirror shows us the opposite, shows us the flip side. When the pieces fit and the person that you're with reflects that and can enhance you by filling in the spaces that you can't fill in yourself, and you have this infernal union, you have this connection, you are, in essence, treating yourselves as one unit. I've always said in a relationship, there are 3 parts. There is you, there's the person you're with, and then there's your relationship. Those 3 aspects, that triptych, can never be forgotten, can never be let go of, because you must always think of yourself, your partner must always think of themselves, and you also simultaneously must think about the relationship. And by doing these things simultaneously at the same time in unity, that, my friends, that is a power couple, because not everybody is capable of doing that. Many people look their entire lives to find somebody that they're capable of doing that with and don't find it. I am lucky enough that I have. But again, monogamy is not submission. It is selection. A sacred narrowing of the will to say, of all souls in the abyss, I choose you. I will sharpen you as you sharpen me. Lucifer did not diminish beside Lilith. He was crowned beside her. As practitioners, we must elevate our chosen partners, not beneath, not above, but with us. So close that the difference between their flame and ours disappears. When you say, you are part of me, you are not dissolving, you are expanding. Like 2 mirrors facing each other, creating an infinity between them. And again, so we're talking about the opposite sides, right? Compensating, right? What you're good at, what they're good at. Sometimes you'll both be good at one thing and still be missing out on another. But through that, and I'm sorry about the damn horns in the background, people think it's, fun to just click their alarm button like nonstop, right? It's like, congratulations, you have a car that has an alarm. So sorry, it is Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning in a gated community. So there's a lot of people coming and going. So I apologize if you can hear that in the background. So we always need to remember the idea that we're not submitting. We are choosing. We're making a choice, right? So when you choose a monogamous path, you are making a choice like anything else. And that is such an important thing to kind of maintain the focus on here, right? The left-hand path is about choices, about understanding your choices and being accountable for your choices, right? That is one of the most important things about the left-hand path. So being in a monogamous relationship is just another choice. And it's a very big choice because it's a choice to choose to be with one person. And then it's also a choice of that person. So you're choosing two things simultaneously. You're choosing to align yourself with one person for the rest of your life. And you're choosing that person every day. It is a choice that you make every single day. The idea or concept that love is this fantastical idea, like a Disney movie, and there's a happily ever after with a prince and a princess and a kingdom. It's a beautiful concept, but let's face facts. It is so far beyond realistic, it's disgusting. Love is a choice. At the beginning, when you choose your partner, there's a lot of things that play face when you make that choice. For most of us, for most human beings, when we look at the animalistic side of ourselves, it's initial attraction. We look at somebody, we find them attractive. We want to talk to them. We begin speaking to them. Their personality aligns with us. Now we find them attractive on another level, not just a physical level, but an emotional one. Right? We begin to build a bond. Right? Now, during this time period, during this initial kind of courting phase, there's a lot of hormones that are flying all over the place. There's lust. Lust is always going to be a part of a relationship. And at the beginning of a relationship, it's probably going to feel like the most important part, but I promise you that it is not. And what eventually happens, 6 months, a year, 2 years, right? That initial spark seems to kind of die down or disappear. And that's where true love truly comes into play. Because when that spark is gone, when the hormones die down, and you're able to lay in the same bed together without jumping all over each other, there's a whole other realm that kind of comes into play here. And that's where true love comes in. The choice to choose that person every single day, to respect that person the same way you would respect yourself. Right? And I will go as far as saying, though we make choices, the left-hand path does have rules, rules of self, right? We choose what is best for us, so long as what is best for us doesn't hurt others. So there's going to be the question of cheating. And I know people are going to be asking this question, well, what about cheating? If everything's a choice and you choose to cheat, is that still okay? No, it is not. Because when you choose to go down the monogamous path, when you choose to have one solid union with another individual, you are making a promise that you are going to be faithful, loyal, and respect that person. Exactly. When you make a choice that hurts that person, you're breaking the first rules. It's not a bad thing to want out of a relationship. It happens all the time. But to be a respectful human, a respectable human, you need to have that conversation, say, this is over, this is done, and we're moving on. That conversation must happen. And Paranormal Witch, I'm very glad that you mentioned that, to put the other person before yourself. So here's the thing. When you go into a monogamous relationship, there's this idea, especially when you're in a serious one, like you're talking like you got a kid on the way, you're getting married, you know, all those types of things are, flying around. This is the level we're talking, right? We're not saying you're dating for 6 months, right? We're talking, a year, 2 years, 3 years into it, like, some serious stuff is going on. What we're looking at here, when you say put the other person before yourself. You are still putting yourself first because you are in this infernal union. You are saying, we are one person. We are one flame. We're not twin flames. We are one flame. Right? So when you go forth and you take care of this person, you say, I'm going to put your needs above my own. The question, there's the question, but are you putting their needs above yours? If you are unified, if you are one unit, if you are one flame, their needs are your needs. Your needs are their needs. Neither of you are, in theory, putting the other above yourself. It's a simultaneous action where both sides take care of each other simultaneously. Yes, there's going to be those moments where they're going to be at 20%, and that means you need to pull 80. Right? Or if you want to go with the 100-100 concept, you're pulling 180. Right? Because they're down on 20. And there's going to be times where that's going to flip, and you're going to be down on 10, and they're going to be pulling 190. That's the give and take. Now, hardship as initiation. This is another one that a lot of people kind of struggle with when we're talking about like going through hard times, difficult times in a relationship, right? Hardship as initiation. All true bonds are tested. As the alchemist tempers steel with flame, so too does adversity reveal the strength of infernal union. Scripture of the Night Womb 3:11. In the cave of hardship, I saw your shadow and mine dance as one, and I knew where pain was, love had rooted deep, its roots fed by blood, not fear. We are not promised ease, but we are promised transformation. And when two infernal hearts choose one another, they choose to face transformation as a united force. An infernal union is spiritual alchemy. You are going through a constant set of transformation. You're not promised a perfect relationship. If what you're looking for is perfection, you will never find it because it doesn't exist. One of my favorite phrases, I forget the author that wrote this, but one of my favorite phrases to say in cases of perfection is worry not for perfection, for you will never achieve it. It doesn't exist. Perfect is a fallacy. It's subjective. When you say, oh, you are perfect to your partner, you're not saying you're perfect objectively. You are saying you are absolutely perfect for me. Right? So, equal sacred priority. This is going to dive a little bit more into what Paranormal Witch has said, which is put the other person first before yourself. There's a lie in many spiritual circles that to prioritize your partners to sacrifice your selfhood. We reject that. To love on the left-hand path is not to diminish, but to rise together in infernal union. And we recognize your partner is part of your temple. Their needs are the sacred echoes of your own. To care for them is not martyrdom, it is discipline. Book of the Black Flame 5:4. I do not give you all of me to lose myself. I give you all of me so that we may become more than I was alone. This is not self-sacrifice, it is equal sovereignty. As we care for our partner, as we care for ourselves, we forge a new ritual of becoming, not codependency, but co-elevation. And so I think that's also a very important part to kind of look at, right? Is because a lot of people will talk about when you put someone else's needs. I think there's this kind of popularity thing at the moment, or like something that just people kind of like to roll with. Like when you want to care for your partner, oh, you're so codependent. I don't look at that as codependency when you care about the person that you're with. It's to elevate your partners, to elevate yourself, right? You push them up, they pull you up. They push you up, you pull them up. And that's how you get up the ladder. That's how you move up. And it's about pushing the other person to be the best version of themselves, right? It's not about bypassing or letting go of the bullshit that the other person pulls. It's calling them out on it, right? In a respectful way. But if you're afraid to call your partner out on some stupid shit that they're doing, again, that is another sign that you probably need to be having a conversation about some stuff, right? Because, yeah, you need to be able to do that, and they need to be able to do that with you, right? Like, you need to be able to call them out, and they need to be able to call you out, and that's how we get better. That's how we improve. We become better versions of ourselves because we have that mirror with us all the time. So, the ritual principles for infernal partnership, right? So choose conscious devotion. Do not stumble into love. Claim it. Craft it. Consecrate it. Right? So don't just fall into something. Make it what it is that you're looking for. Turn it into that thing that you want. Right? It's not to say to change the other person, because you can't do that. It is to say, when you do feel yourself being drawn to another person, there are steps that can be taken to make sure that the relationship that you're going into stays strong. So one of the fallacies, one of the things that people do, unfortunately, a lot of the time when they're getting into a new relationship, is they spend so much time trying to have fun at the beginning of a relationship. And this is what children do. Children go into a relationship, high school relationships, high school sweethearts. They go into a relationship to have fun, go to the football game, go to a party, have some drinks, go out for dinner, go watch a movie, right? Have sex, have fun. That's it. That's all they're doing. That's what children do. That is how children go into a relationship. To go into an infernal union, an adult relationship, the first things that need to be understood is you are not dating for fun, you are courting. And while you are courting, that is the only time and the best time that you should be having these very difficult conversations about money, about children, about the future, to make sure that the things that you want for your future align. Like a lot of people say, oh, you're talking about kids already. Well, I'm not talking about having them 3 months in. I'm just saying, is it something that you want? And if it's not, is that a deal breaker for you? Because a lot of people wait until they get to the point when somebody proposes, and then a few weeks before, you know, the ceremony actually happens, they start having these really difficult conversations about what they actually want for their lives. And then surprises happen. And when the surprises happen, people want to bail. Avoid that. Claim it, craft it, consecrate it. Have the difficult conversations in the beginning. Because if it truly is somebody that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, it's somebody that you're going to marry, you're going to have all the time in the world to have fun. You're going to have all the time in the world to go to parties, to go to concerts, to go to the movies. Have the difficult conversations in the beginning. Place their flame next to yours, not above, not below, but alongside. Do not put yourself in front. Do not put yourself behind. Put yourself alongside your partner. Because the idea here is that the hardships that come, the adversity that happens, that is inevitably going to happen, even if it is internal. Not all battles in a relationship are fought externally. It's not some random external force trying to break you apart. Most battles are internal. And if you can understand through union that the battles you're facing, even internally, you're a team against, you've got half the battle won for a long-term successful relationship. If you can maintain that mentality that no matter what internal battle happens, what breaks through, that you're a team against it, that's powerful shit. Tend their needs as your own. As you would not abandon your shadow in the fire, do not abandon your beloveds. And this is where kind of like the unity comes in again, right? Is so if you're choosing to be with someone, you're aligning their needs with your needs. And they're aligning their needs with yours. And just as the left-hand path teaches us personal accountability and responsibility of self as the most direct path to self-deification, what we're looking at here then is you must not ever, ever abandon your partner. Their needs are equally as important as yours, as they are the same. Speak the truth always. Lucifer's light is illumination. Keep no parts of yourself in shadow from them. So I've always said, there's always three people. There's three people in the world that you never want to lie to. Your partner, your lawyer, and your clergyman. Clergyman, we'll throw that one in quotations, right? Because none of us have clergymen. But, you know, if there was a point of confession to get something off of your chest, you know, for the left-hand path, don't lie to him, right? You know, it's not a cop. So those are the three people you never want to lie to. And Lucifer teaches us this. When we look at the union between Lucifer and the taxman, yep, I'll give you that one, Amanda. I will give you that one. That can come back and bite you in the ass hard. Yeah, that's some IRS is scary. Yeah, so 4 people. But just like Lucifer and how the bond in the union of Lucifer and Lilith in this particular case, Lucifer's light is illumination. It's showing truth. Right? It's always be true. And let adversity be alchemy. When hardship comes, face it together. Let it forge the blade between you, not break it. Let the fire of that infernal flame of that union forge the blade that you will use to get through all adversity. Don't turn inward. Always make sure that the both of you are looking outward. And so, give a little closing invocation, if you wouldn't mind. Okay? So, let us end today with a spoken devotion. By flame and fang, by shadow and scream, I walk not behind nor ahead, but beside the one I have chosen. We are not bound by chains, but by will, fire, tempered, and blood sealed. I raise them as I raise myself. In their thriving, I thrive. In their rising, I rise. In the name of Lucifer and Lilith, I burn, I bond, I become, and so it is. So I do hope that all of you found this sermon, so to speak, helpful. I do believe that thank you, Evie. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you very much. I do hope that anyone that has doubted whether or not being in a monogamous relationship can align itself to the left-hand path, I do hope that this does kind of open that door for you and allow you to see that it is a possibility. It's not to say that you have to. That's the beautiful thing of the left-hand path and the occult. It is a choice. But I do hope that this allows you to align the possibility of a monogamous relationship more balanced with your path. And with that being said, we end as we begin. Hail Satan, hail Lilith, hail Lucifer, hail Pyman, hail Baphomet. We reject the Trinity. We reject the baptism of John. We reject the baptism of the Spirit. And as always, hail thy fucking self, most of all. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Good evening, good day. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.